He's on?
Yep.
Johnny Rock is there. Of course he's there. So is Dr. Joe Scalia. Good. Hey, Joe. Good job. Ready?
Hey, all.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. You're right.
I'm going to mute everybody, Lawrence, and then come off mute and we'll go.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It is the 14th of July. Actually, July 14th. I think that's Bastille's Day in France, if I'm not wrong. July the 14th, I think so. So we have, again, the slaughterhouse of failure, obviously, is not in our destiny. We will persevere until we succeed. Og Mandino. So we've actually got a lot going on in the company right now. We've got technological advances, the AI and DNA, Vera app, where it's already starting to show some results with facial imaging and so on. New products, including the eyelash grower, streaming our software possibilities, improving the call center at the company. So there's actually a lot of activity of growth going on in the company with a lot of technology and software and so on. And the company obviously is finding employees, trying to find employees, which is actually not so easy because everybody wants to work from home. But anyway, there is the Success Summit, and our Johnny Rocket is at the Success Summit. We just found out that Donna Trainer is there, and Dee. So I thought what we might do is try and get the scoop. John is there. I called John last night and asked him if he would kind of let us know what the latest secrets are and what's going on. So Dan, if you want to add something.
Yeah, just like Lawrence said, there's a lot going on within the company right now with new devices coming out, new products coming out. I believe the Success Summit is geared more towards the social selling and the new skin side of things. But Johnny could probably fill us in on that a little bit more and whether or not they talked about the Pharmanex side of things. You know, a little bit about what's going on, what the experience is like there at the Success Summit, and then kind of what your mindset shift is from going from Pharmanex talking about the scanner to now working on the social media side, how you generated that mindset shift.
Johnny Rocket, you're on.
Oh, that's my cue. All right.
That's your cue. I'm sorry.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm actually outside a coffee shop here in downtown Provo, and gorgeous day, no humidity, just a beautiful day here. And yeah, no, it's very eye-opening coming out to these things. I didn't know what to expect. I kept an open mind. I knew I wanted to leave here with something greater. I didn't know what it was, whether that's hearing something to advance my business forward, a new technique, meeting somebody, meeting a bunch of people, new people that, you know, maybe I can, you know, pick their brain a little bit and become friends. But, you know, it's a different atmosphere than what we're used to at the HCA Forum in a good way. It's uplifting, it's upbeat. It just gives a different type of energy to things. It's not the rah-rah that you would think it is. There's a lot of testimony given, which can relate to everyone. And there was a few people that spoke yesterday that I'm just like, wow, I'm that person right there on stage, where struggling for 5 years, in the business, you know, we're all thinking, did we make the right decision? Success is not a straight path. It's always ups and downs, but these people are doing it. And if they can do it, we can do it. And so, you know, they talked a lot about a new products. The Vera seems to be the highlight of it. And customers, the more customers you're going to get, the more customers somebody gets is the winner. And it's all about plugging people in, not necessarily getting them into the Vera app, but getting them to be customers. So whether it's a doctor doing that, whether you're scanning people, whatever the case may be. You know, they did go over some new products. They love the way Beauty Focus has taken off. So they're continuing to innovate and finding more ways to merge the Nu Skin and Pharmanex together. And so they're coming out with a product the end of this year that's going to do that again, just like the Beauty Focus did, where it's going to be an oral supplement, different vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, that's going to help promote beauty from within, help the skin from within, which I thought was pretty neat. The other thing that inspired me was Dr. Paul Cox. We hear about him at the forum about how he, you know, the movie The Medicine Man was based on his life, but he actually talked yesterday, and that man should win a Nobel Prize if he hasn't already. The inspiration that oozes from him. I mean, this guy isn't, I didn't even know what an anthobotanist was, but that is a scientist who studies the indigenous plants and how the cultures interact with those plants. And so he's taken his whole family, his wife, 4 or 5 kids, and been all over the world, was speaking Chinese, and everybody that was from China was just, you know, screaming, and, you know, just speaks so many different indigenous languages, and just was so inspired by his talk. I mean, you know, his goal was to build one school for the indigenous people with what we're doing with Nu Skin. And we were able to build, us together, we're able to build 388 schools in indigenous countries. And some are so in remote areas where, you know, it took 3 days for these indigenous people to carry all the supplies to build those schools. And what he's doing is amazing. And some of the products, I didn't even know we had a deodorant, and I learned something new. But the Epic line, get into that. It's an amazing line. It uses a lot of different plants from indigenous countries around the world. And it's just fascinating what he was able to do and what Nu Skin was able to do to support him. You know, he's like, you guys got to do something with the packaging. And they go, well, what do you want to do with it? He goes, well, I like Estee Lauder's packaging. So they flew up to New York and hired the lead graphic designer from Estee Lauder for him to do the packaging for that, which I thought was pretty amazing. So yeah, it's just meeting a lot of great people. Not everybody is skincare. There's a lot of scanner people. I met a team elite that is not in our team that's just doing the scanner, and she built her business. She's a 16-year team elite, just talking to doctors, and she's not even in our group. So it's a lot of amazing people, and it's just fun to meet different walks of life. And, you know, sometimes our people get tired of hearing us. You know, we're talking to them all the time. And one of the reasons I came out here is not because I'm tired of hearing us talk, but I wanted to hear from somebody else, a different voice, because a lot of times that can resonate with you and you could pick something up and learn something new. But I'm just looking forward to the next couple of days and going to try to squeeze into that Jeff Mack thing Saturday night. So just a great time here.
Fantastic.
Did I cover everything? Would you like me to cover anything more?
I don't know, Dan, have you got any questions additional questions? How many
my takeaways are, you know, coming out there with an open mind and then doing what this business is all about, which is networking, right? So trying to meet new people, trying to pick up new techniques, trying to pick up new tips and pearls from people, and keeping an open mind that maybe what we're doing on our team may not be what they're doing on another team, in the way that they're doing it on another team, and they may be doing it better. So we may be able to pick up some tips and pearls from some of these other folks who are being successful outside of our team. So that's the mindset shift. That's what we talk about here on these Friday calls is, changing our mindset so that it will help our overall growth, right? It'll take us from that fixed mindset to the growth mindset. And, Johnny's embraced that, taking it out to a success summit, something that's out of his wheelhouse. But if you're friends with Johnny on Facebook, what you'll see him doing is he does a lot of live posts. He does a lot of lengthy posts bringing value to his audience. And so, this is just one more thing that he can utilize, one more arrow in his quiver. All these people that he's meeting, the techniques that he's talking to other people about what they're doing to be successful, is just another way that he can expand on what he's personally doing.
Yeah, it's leading by example. And something you said, Johnny Rocket, that caught my attention was that you went there wanting to find something new or different, but you didn't know what it was. And I think this is where you have an open mind to looking at what the unlimited possibilities are. And if we go there with an open mind and we think that, we're excited about what the possibilities are, you don't even know what they might be because we don't know what we don't know. So I think that's a really good attitude, to have. And I think that's a sponge way of, it's being a sponge where you can learn without any barriers. And I think that's really cool.
Some of the biggest shifts in my life have happened when I was looking for something and I didn't know what I was specifically looking for, but something found me. So just because you're out there looking for something or you don't know what your end goal is going to be, if you're out there doing it, sooner or later it's going to find you, right? And you don't always find what you're searching for, but what you're searching for will eventually find you.
Well, just on that one thing by accident, but just by chance, I'm in Costa Rica right now and I'm going for an specific event. And yesterday, 3 or 4 things happened that were completely out of my wheelhouse, but that are very encouraging for our business. And it just happened yesterday and I wasn't looking for it, but I was excited about, like you just said, having an open mind. And I think we should call, instead of mindset, I was talking to someone the other day and he said mind flow. I think that would be a better description of how we should be. We should have mind flow rather than mindset, because we can flow with innovation, science, technology, and it's a mind flow. I saw Didi was on there as well. I don't know, Didi, if you'd like to add a couple of from a lady's point of view, what you saw, what you think.
Well, this is the first time I've been to the Success Summit, and I'm in a Airbnb with, I don't know, I think there's 16 girls here, and it's just unbelievable stories that they have to tell about, how they've been successful, more on the skincare side. So I came to learn more on that portion of it. But again, the company itself is just amazing. They have the Expo Center where, I sat down and got interviewed by the 2 inside people on the Vera and the Stella app asking us as distributors, what do we want to see? What do we need to have better? If you have not downloaded either one of those apps, I suggest you do and get on board on both of them because the Vera is going to be very, very helpful that you can share with your customers, and your customers can order off of that, whether it's skincare or whether it's the vitamins. And we do have, they're always bringing out new products, just like Johnny Rockstar said. So it was just a happenstance that I walked down the red carpet and then I'm up there, taking pictures of other people and I see Johnny. I'm like, oh, well, hello. So that was kind of fun to see him there. And yeah, it's just exciting. They had a big, scanner team. Paul Cox was tear jerking. I was bawling. He was just so incredible speaker. Another little gal that's from the UK. She was the last speaker yesterday. That was Louise Spencer. amazing stories, and it's all about as much as you give to this company, it's going to give back to you. You have to work hard, don't give up, but keep on going. And it was just really, really, really enlightening. So I'm excited for today. Tomorrow will be Hal Elrod in the morning for the Miracle Morning. And that's it.
I want to comment about Paul Cox. About the Epic products have been out for some time, but we take things for granted because we've got such an array of products. This is one of our Achilles heel, one of our challenges. We've got so many products that we forget to understand just how great these products are individually as well. So, Paul Cox came out with the products after studies and bringing out, representation of products from various countries and so on. And yet we've never really focused on how important that line of product is. We focus on what is trending, the toothpaste or the the eyelash product or, something like that. But we've really got an arsenal of atomic weapons, if you will, of incredible products. And we should really take a look at these things and also focus on your passion. If there's something that now has caught your attention, and there's the stories sell, facts tell, all the facts in the world, but the stories what sell. This product was developed by, the company through Dr. Paul Cox and the whole story. And wow, really, that will sell. We could change almost any product.
So just on that note, Lawrence, you're so right, because he had a picture of the baobab tree and the nut and how powerful that is. And for every package that we sell, they plant another one of those trees. That's
There you
powerful.
go.
Powerful.
Exactly.
The same with the fire dancer and the ice legs. It comes from this leaf, that it turns very hot on your neck, and it's just so powerful. So anyway, I don't want to keep up your time, you guys, but thank you.
Oh, no. Fantastic.
Jim, did you have comments?
I went to the kickoff. I think Stephen was there too, in January. And the kickoff is similar to the Success Summit. And, one thing I think we need to all remember is that when we join this business, we're actually stepping into the world of entrepreneurism. And entrepreneurism, it's incumbent upon us to have a very good peripheral vision and see where the opportunities are arising and then take advantage of those opportunities. And, I think everyone on this call knows that half of the annual revenues, or more than half, actually come from the beauty products. The other half comes from the supplements. And so far be it for me to ignore half of the income stream of this company, because the products on both sides of that are equally fantastic. And another thing is that one thing I've learned is that for those who promote the beauty products, they pretty quickly get a lot of the people that their customers into the supplements. So they may be putting more people on supplements than we are through our doctors. So, keep that entrepreneurial peripheral vision open and see where we can create increased volumes for ourselves and our teams. I think the two can truly align pretty well. And we should pursue both paths, at the same time.
Jim, you just opened a window, a door, where the company has got, we have collagen, which is both for internal and for your skin. And actually, this is one of the themes that coincidentally I was talking about yesterday with some doctors, and we're actually saying we have the possibility to help the aesthetic side as well as the health side. So we have the possibility of being able to make a marked difference to everybody, whether it's men, women, kids, old people, ancient people like me, anybody. There's a possibility to help absolutely everybody and have fun doing it.
I look at this very similar to a financial transaction in the fact that if I'm going to go out and invest in some stocks, you're better off going into a mutual fund, right? Because you're diversifying the risk, but you're also diversifying for different facets of the economy. And so if you're only working the side of the business with the supplements, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to also incorporate the skincare line in, because then you're diversifying where those income streams are coming from. So for me, I look at it from more of a financial perspective as how I want to work that business, because there's less risk. If people stop spending money on supplements, they're still going to spend money on the skincare line, right? Or vice versa, depending on what the economy is doing, or the general consensus about health, or whatever it may be. But it's spreading out that risk. That if you're building a business, you want to spread that risk out as much as possible.
On that financial analogy, it's also good to be diversified in terms of your short-term gain and your long-term gain. And when you look at it, the short-term gains are enormous in the social selling arena. And Donna and I have seen numbers of women who have made it to the team elite level in 18 to 24 months. And there's a ton of them. So that can be a quick driving force. And then as you concurrently include the scanner business, what you're doing is you're putting in place your oil wells. Those oil wells that'll keep pumping every day, every day, every day. You put those together, man, you have got a powerful combination.
Jim, I totally concur with you, and I think that's a very good way of looking at it. Thanks, Dan, for your analogy to that too. I also just want to add something, that with all the changes that are going on in the company, and I really want to make this point today. When there's growth, when there's significant growth in a company, especially during uncharted waters. When I say uncharted waters, in terms of getting labor to work for you. Everybody wants to work from home. Nobody wants to drive. Nobody wants to do anything. And the company is growing very, very, in many marked ways. And obviously there are a lot of teething problems. And we do have frustrations with our orders, or with getting through to the right people, or having some solutions to some of the problems we may be having. I just want to encourage you all to bear in mind that they're just teething problems, and they will be overcome. They are being overcome. Dan and I had a conversation this week about, a couple of little hiccups that are going on. And I think we've from that, thank you, Dan, we were able to start getting some light at how we can solve the problem. Because the company, we've got to look at this, the company does a lot of things of science, of technology, of innovation, of marketing, not marketing, of investigation and so on, packaging and all the rest of it. But they need also to be very well fed with what we are doing. What are our problems? How are we fixing them? What do we need from them? It's a two-way street. It's no use just, being great at one thing. You've got to be able to have a two-way street. In this case, we are the marketing organization for the company. And it's important that we also have enough feedback to the right people so that we can iron out all the little hiccups that we've got. So I just want to encourage everybody to be a little patient and think about it, because we're really going in the right direction at lightning speed. Honestly, lightning speed. There's so much going on. And to incorporate all this new technology and how it's done and who's going to do it and how they do it, it's a humongous thing. I used to have 350 employees. And it was nothing to do with anything like now. But I know that it's like an orchestra. Everybody's got a different musical instrument. You got to coordinate this whole thing. It's very challenging. So I just want to, bear in mind that we're in the right direction at the right time, in the right place, with the right company, the right product. Everything is just aligned.
Lawrence, you hit it right on the nail right there, because they are really trying hard at corporate. They know, they just did this upgrade on the systems or doing anything else, or knows there's issues out there, and they are listening to us. So we have to be patient. We have to understand it is not an easy thing to overdo all these systems, because we're killing it. We're killing it with the, selling things. And so they're trying to keep up with us, and so, yeah, please be patient.
Just to
That's all I
make
can
that
say.
point, Didi, you mentioned that people from the company were asking you what you need to improve for your business. Vera,
Absolutely.
was. That's, you see, the summit, these events that are going on in Utah and wherever we have them, big ones like that. It's we'll show you what we got, but we also want to know what you need. We want to know how to implement this in a more successful, efficient way. So that's where it becomes important that we have a really good communication with our team, and we get constant feedback to say, what are the hiccups? What are the challenges? What is not going so well? Feed it back so that we can have dialogue with the company and solve these problems. If
And they understand if it wasn't for us, then they wouldn't be there. Bottom line to it. So
yeah.
Hey, Lawrence.
Hi.
Hi, Lawrence, and everybody. So this is Lee and me. We're also in Utah, and we just want to add something really quick, if that's okay.
Please. I didn't know that.
So I met two guys from Samoa the first night. One, the upline had been in the business for 4 years. He just brought in this new guy, and the new guy went emerald in 6 weeks, and he has the scanner. It was incredible. So they scanned 3,000 people in Samoa. 99% of them were in the red zone.
Sure.
So the corporate called them and said, hey, maybe you should send your scanner back. Maybe there's something wrong with your scanner. And they said, no, it's our people. Our people are broken. So they're on a huge mission to help their native people. Isn't that wonderful? That was so touched.
Amazing.
And he said, yeah, we're called the Team No Sleep.
But they've done that by traveling to all the little villages. So they're doing it in person, and like making those connections is how they've been able to change people's lives with that. So
that's
amazing people.
That's fantastic. That's what this is all about, making a difference, a visible difference, an impactful difference, where we can actually help people to be aware and make lifestyle choices that are going to change their lives, better their lives. Wow, that's very interesting.
And the interesting thing is that these people are from a country that's smaller than most of our major cities in this country. And yet they're making enormous strides. It's called put your nose to the grindstone and get to work.
Jim, the country's smaller than some of our gated communities. I mean, it's a tiny little place. We don't even know where it is on the map almost. Anyway.
Yeah, and they don't have a lot of money.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Last time I checked, America Samoa was not a financial it's the country that was running the world. So if they can do it over there, we can certainly do it here.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Good job. It's right on 8 o'clock. Anybody want to add anything? Dan, sir? John?
Good.
Didi? Anybody?
No, I just keep an open mind, meeting some great people out here, fostering some great relationships with Didi and Robin and Lee, and make a plan to come out here next year, just if you come once, right? Just to check it out so that you can, bring value to your team, right? Because maybe not everybody wants to do the scanner business, but you may have people that want to do the social media or social sharing. So you want to be able to lead those people properly. So just, keep an open mind about that.
John, are you running for office, public office?
Yes, they just, I'm debating right now. They have me coming into City Hall.
You have our vote, Johnny. You have our vote.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, guys. Dan, thank you.
Yep,
Edie,
thank you.
absolutely everybody. Thank you for being on the call. Thanks for the information, and the Samoa part was fascinating as well. Thank you. Thanks everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Thank
Best.
you.
Bye.
All right,
Thanks,
goodbye.
everyone.
Thank you all. Great call.
Bye-bye now.
Great call.